The 2025 NBA offseason is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable in years. With salary cap shifts, expiring contracts, and teams either contending or rebuilding, the trade block could be buzzing with big names. Let's dive into 5 NBA stars who could be wearing different jerseys by the start of next season. Trae Young's future in Atlanta has been in question ever since the Hawks' underwhelming playoff performances. Despite being one of the league's most dynamic playmakers, his fit with the team has come under scrutiny. If the Hawks decide to hit the reset button, Young could be the most valuable trade chip on the market. A high-usage point guard with deep shooting range and all-star credentials, he'd attract immediate interest from franchises looking for a franchise centerpiece. Lauri Markkanen has blossomed into an elite scoring forward, but the Jazz seem to be focused more on rebuilding than contending right now. With his contract approaching its final year, Utah might prefer to trade him while his value is high rather than risk losing him for nothing. His combination of size, shooting, and versatility makes him one of the most intriguing potential trade targets on the market. Despite the Wolves' success with their Twin Towers experiment, whispers about Karl-Anthony Towns' long-term future in Minnesota haven't gone away. With Rudy Gobert anchoring the defense, KAT might be the odd man out, especially considering his hefty contract. If the Wolves flame out in the playoffs or want to retool around Anthony Edwards, moving Towns could be a massive but strategic move. The Pelicans are at a crossroads. Injuries and inconsistency have plagued their talented core, and Brandon Ingram is the most likely candidate to be moved. He's still a highly skilled scorer and playmaker, but with his contract nearing expiration and the team needing to make decisions about their direction, Ingram could be the one to go. A team looking for a wing scorer in a contract year would love to take a chance on him. Trae Young isn't the only Hawk on this list. DeJounte Murray has been solid, but hasn't been able to elevate Atlanta the way they hoped when they paired him with Young. With the team looking to potentially retool or rebuild, they may decide that breaking up their backcourt duo is the first step. Murray's defense, length, and mid-range game would fit well on multiple contending teams. As we wrap up this look at the biggest names that could be traded during the 2025 NBA offseason, we arrive at the most unpredictable group. These last 5 players are a mix of respected veterans, high-potential wildcards, and names you might not expect to move, but their situations make them quietly very available. And in the NBA, it's often the quietest moves that change everything. Just a couple of years ago, Andrew Wiggins was being praised as the key to Golden State's 2022 championship. He locked down top scorers, hit timely shots, and finally fulfilled his potential. Fast forward to now, and his production has dipped. His minutes, usage, and role in the Warriors system have all been inconsistent. Golden State is in a transitional phase, trying to stay competitive while getting younger. With his contract still sizable and the Warriors' payroll among the league's highest, Wiggins could be part of a shake-up deal. He's still a capable two-way forward who could help a playoff team that's missing perimeter defense and experience. Tobias Harris has had one of the most complicated tenures in recent NBA history. He's often solid, sometimes spectacular, but almost always seen as overpaid. Now, with his massive contract finally expiring, he becomes an interesting piece, not just as a player, but as a salary-matching tool in trades. Philadelphia has cap flexibility and is expected to make a big splash around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. If they want to acquire another max-level player, Harris could be moved in a sign-and-trade. Don't overlook the value of a steady 6 feet 8 inches forward who can shoot, score in the post, and stretch the floor. Bruce Brown played a pivotal role in Denver's championship run, but since being traded to Indiana and then Toronto, he's been more of a movable asset than a core piece. The Raptors are deep in a rebuild, and Brown has a team-friendly contract with a team option for next season. That makes him one of the league's most attractive trade pieces. He defends, rebounds, makes hustle plays, and doesn't need the ball to make an impact. Multiple contenders will be eyeing him, especially those lacking perimeter toughness or playoff experience. Bojan Bogdanović is another player who has quietly become a prime trade candidate. After being moved from Detroit to New York, his role has been more limited, but his value remains high. At 35, he's still a knockdown shooter, smart cutter, and capable of giving a team 15 to 18 points per night. For a team looking to add bench scoring or veteran leadership, Bojan is an ideal one-year rental. His contract is partially guaranteed, making it easier for teams to maneuver financially. In the right playoff setting, he could swing a game or even a series. Let's end with perhaps the most intriguing name on the list, Jalen Green. The former number 2 overall pick has all the athleticism, flair, and scoring potential you'd want in a young guard, but the Rockets are changing. With Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, and now a win-now mentality under Ime Udoka, Green's ball-dominant style may not fit. There have been whispers that the Rockets would be open to moving him if it means landing a proven star. He's still just 23 and could thrive in a system built around him, but his time in Houston may be running out. A surprise blockbuster could easily include his name. So there you have it, 20 NBA stars, ranging from franchise cornerstones to high-value role players, who could be on the move this offseason. Whether it's salary cap maneuvering, team direction, or locker room dynamics, the reasons vary, but the possibilities are endless. If even a handful of these names get traded, it could reshape the league's power structure overnight. Keep your eyes on the headlines, because the 2025 offseason won't just be active, it could be historic. Let us know in the comments. Which trade would shock you the most? And which star do you think needs a fresh start the most this summer? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more NBA breakdowns, rumors, and analysis. We're now into the heart of the off-season rumor mill, where some names won't surprise you, but the situations they're in just might. These next 5 NBA stars are stuck in that gray area between value and uncertainty, between being franchise centerpieces and movable assets. And that makes them extremely tradable in 2025. Malcolm Brogdon is the type of veteran every contender wants, and every rebuilding team is willing to let go. After being traded to Portland, he served as a stabilizing force for a young and developing roster. But the Blazers aren't close to playoff contention, and Brogdon is already 32 years old. He's still one of the best combo guards in the league off the bench, capable of running the offense or playing off-ball. His leadership, efficient shooting, and team-first mindset make him a perfect trade deadline or off-season pickup for any team chasing a championship. Portland could flip him for picks or younger players and continue their rebuild. What a roller coaster it's been for Jordan Poole. After flashing brilliance in Golden State, especially during their 2022 title run, he was moved to the Washington Wizards in a deal centered around Chris Paul. But Poole's first season in Washington was rough. Inefficient shooting, poor decision-making, and a lack of defense have tanked his stock. However, he's still just 25 and has the ability to explode offensively when he's locked in. A change of scenery to a team with a stronger culture could help him rediscover his rhythm. His contract isn't ideal, but for a team looking to gamble on upside, Poole might still be worth a second look. Yes, another Blazer. Portland is clearly on a full reset path, and Anthony Simons is one of their most valuable young assets. The problem? The backcourt is crowded. Scoot Henderson is the future. Shaedon Sharpe is turning heads. That leaves Simons, a talented scorer and improved playmaker, potentially on the outside looking in. He's only 25 and still has room to grow, especially on a team where he's not overlapping with other ball-dominant guards. Don't be surprised if Portland tests the market for Simons to balance out their roster with wings or frontcourt depth. Tyler Herro has long been the subject of trade speculation. He was reportedly offered in the Damian Lillard talks and has constantly hovered in rumor territory. While he's a solid scorer with a smooth shooting stroke, the Heat have proven they can win without him in the lineup. They reached the 2023 NBA Finals with Herro sidelined, and his defensive limitations and hefty contract raise questions about his value. If Miami wants to chase another star, especially a frontcourt player, Herro's name will almost certainly be on the move. He's young, marketable, and can average 20 points per game, which makes him attractive to rebuilding squads with cap space. OG Anunoby was a massive mid-season pickup for the Knicks, and he's made a strong impact on both ends of the court. But here's the catch. He's expected to decline his player option and hit free agency. While New York wants to keep him, his contract demands could complicate matters. The Knicks are also rumored to be in the mix for a major superstar, and Anunoby might become part of a sign-and-trade if they can't meet his asking price. His elite perimeter defense and growing offensive game make him one of the league's most sought-after wings, if not by New York, then definitely by others. As the 2025 NBA offseason approaches, front offices are starting to feel the pressure. Whether it's failed playoff runs, cap space crunches, or stars who no longer fit the long-term vision, change is coming. Let's take a closer look at 5 more high-profile players who could be packing their bags this summer. The Pacers made a bold move trading for Pascal Siakam mid-season, hoping he'd be the final piece alongside Tyrese Haliburton. But Indiana's playoff performance might not have convinced Siakam to stay long-term. He's an unrestricted free agent this summer, and if there's even the slightest hint that he won't re-sign, the Pacers could explore sign-and-trade options. Siakam is still in his prime and brings championship pedigree, elite defense, and the ability to create his own shot. For teams needing a two-way forward with postseason experience, he could be a top target. Darius Garland is an elite point guard with a silky smooth game, but his fit alongside Donovan Mitchell has been under the microscope. The Cavs' backcourt, while talented, lacks defensive versatility and may be too small to make a deep playoff run. If Cleveland decides to build fully around Mitchell, and especially if they manage to extend him, Garland could be the odd man out. At just 25, he's still developing and would be highly coveted by teams looking for a young floor general to lead their offense. It feels like DeAndre Ayton has been stuck in trade rumors for years. After being shipped to Portland, he had some decent moments, but consistency remains a problem. The Blazers are clearly in rebuild mode, and Ayton's hefty contract doesn't fit their timeline. If a contending team believes it can unlock his full potential, especially on the defensive end, Ayton could once again find himself on the move. He's only 26, a former #1 overall pick, and still has the tools to be a dominant modern big man in the right situation. Zach LaVine's trade value has taken a hit due to injuries and an enormous contract, but his scoring ability is still elite. The Bulls are in no man's land, not good enough to contend, but not bad enough to tank. A rebuild seems inevitable, and LaVine is the most obvious piece to go. If the Bulls are willing to attach some assets or take back a contract in return, they might finally find a suitor for the two-time All-Star. Expect his name to be in constant circulation this offseason. The Knicks are trending upward, but Julius Randle's future in New York is far from secure. With Jalen Brunson emerging as the team's true leader and other pieces stepping up, Randle's ball-dominant style could become a liability in the playoffs. Add in his contract situation and questions about his fit in the team's long-term vision, and a trade could be on the horizon. New York has the assets to make a big move, and Randle could be the main salary piece in a blockbuster deal.